Shalom, family. Thank you so much for joining us here at Remnant House, the home of the crossing and the very courageous. As it's raining here at the Kingdom, we got a very big downpour this afternoon. Always a pleasure when the rain comes in. I was out on the deck getting my haircut with Chase Taylor, our resident barber, and I watched the rain come in. It was such a delight to watch it. I filmed the whole thing. This portion right here is of rainfall. It's confirmation of Baraka Tupua coming in the form. Joining me, of course, for our conversations today as we talk about evangelism. One more time, we're asking for the rain to come down, for the former and the latter rain, that we may see souls saved, that lives will be changed and transformed. Amen. As they come into the gospel of the kingdom. David Colon, you're going to join me for this conversation? Hop in here.
Yes, sir. Shalom. Shalom, Mishpaha.
Shalom, Mishpaha.
Always an honor and a pleasure to be here amongst my people.
Amen and amen. And
I can still hear rain.
That's right. I got the rain going. I don't know about everybody else, but I could play this on a loop just to listen to the rainfall and just enjoy that. It's so soothing. I know it's a simple pleasure. I realize that. I get it. I understand, folks. But that's what life's about. Life is simple pleasures, you know. Somebody asked me, they were asking me, how much rain do you get when it rains? You know, and I'm like, I don't know. You know, we have rain gauges, and I'm sure they'll measure, but I don't know. You tell me what you think's on the ground right there. You know,
I'd probably say there's at least a good inch and a half.
You know, it depends on, you know.
Some of it's already in the ground, so I'd probably say you're probably looking at it.
Even if it's half an inch, even if you say it's half an inch, half an inch. Because it kept going. This was going on for a while. But you saw the flooding. It literally, after a while, even the ground that's so dry, it literally drinks it. Even that ground gets to the point
that's what I was talking about.
It begins to puddle. And so you know that's been some water's been coming down. Amen. And it's such a wonderful delight to see him confirm his word. And now, again, we came in, there were 2 inches of rain per year, 2 inches per year. They got the same monsoon seasons, they got the same everything, but it just didn't rain here. Okay, they had very, very poor water, poor weather. In fact, that was part of the reason why we were able to buy the property when we did. They were getting out. They were like, man, you're getting a dust bowl, man. Right? That's what they were laughing at us as they were selling it to us. Sucker, you know. And then who brought the rain? Who brought the rain? So we get you enjoy that. Shalom, my brethren. Thank you so much for joining us. We're always grateful when you come on by. Amen. You're all so beautiful. I love seeing some of my friends and family on here. People that are part of our family, part of the house, part of what we're doing, standing with us. Amen. I'm with you, sister. I am with you. I want to listen to that on a loop. It is so soothing. I am with you. I'm so glad you're here with us today. You are a delight to our house and a tremendous berakat to my wife, who just across the world here. So yes, shalom, family. Shalom to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Evangelist Corner. And David, I don't even want to turn this off. Let's just talk. It'll end here in a few seconds here. I just enjoy that in the background. So talk to me, David.
Oh, we're getting plenty of it over here too, man. We're getting plenty of it over here too. I mean, you know, when we first started this, I have a pool out back. It was probably about 3 or 4 inches below where it's supposed to be, and right now it's in danger of overflowing. So luckily it's in a spot that it can do that, and it's not that big of a deal. But just to give you an understanding, what was it? Friday. Friday we had over 3.5 inches in one foul swoop. 3.5 inches.
Look at that.
I mean, it poured like crazy. So
yeah, and there's a lake in Texas that finally filled back up. So
yes,
some lakes are filling back. There's some recovery, right?
Yes.
So we're seeing some things there, but not quite there yet, guys. But we like the direction the rocks are rolling, so we'll take it, right? We'll take it with this pump, and we'll take it. Hallelujah, amen. And we'll enjoy that. Thank you, Father. But that's what we're praying for, and isn't that an encouragement that we can pray for the rain to fall, that lives would be changed, that people would come into the knowledge of the truth and be set free.
Yes.
And David, we're continue seeing evidences of more and more people sort of waking up, but our attention's starting to shift, and our focus, of course, as a house, as the Alliance of Remnant Ministries, which is a growing group of remnant minded and Ahad ministries that see what Yahuwah is doing and want to get involved with it. It's an exciting moment, isn't it, David?
Oh, I'm super excited. I'm super pumped. It's a big vision. We sat around. You remember us talking about this like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
About communities. We sat around there in Minnesota, and talked about this at your round table, talking about this for days and weeks. We talked about this, community, and bringing forth a set apart community. Even
the frustration of visiting the Kodashim, but living in the world, right? Which is an inversion of the original intention. The original intention was you live with the Kodashim and you visit the world. It's not the other way around. You don't live in the world and visit the Kodashim, right? And so this is what they inverted it to. They inverted it to the 1 hour per week, if that. I mean, if you stay from Mochaccino, maybe, I don't know. Okay, because they're in and out, these guys, right? And they're doing the bless me, and it's no blessing, but they just they leave, right?
Right.
So,
and say,
all forms.
Dude, that meeting was so awesome.
Right, and none of it has any blessing on it. And so when we began to detect that, David, we began to go, this is useless. This is a waste of time. What is this?
Exactly.
We started asking a lot of questions way back when.
Yes, and again, I like to throw this around because I used to beat myself up for what's wrong with me? How come I'm not seeing what they're seeing, or
how come it's not amazing to me? How come they're saying, "Oh, it was amazing"? I'm like, what
was amazing?
Did I miss something? What I miss?
What I miss?
How did I miss the rapture again? How many? I understand we missed it in June.
Yeah,
there's people that were waiting for it in June. I guess I don't know. We missed it. How we do it again? We did it again, right?
Yeah, well, we missed it in 1999 too. So there's that.
After a while, we began to realize that there was a spiral, a loop running.
Yes,
and it had nothing to do with truth, and it had nothing to do with results. And it had nothing to do with productivity. It had nothing to do with the gospel even. It had to do with keeping itself going. In other words, it had become its own purpose. We do meetings so we can raise money, so we can get together and do more meetings, so we can raise money, so we can get together to do more meetings, so we raise money, to do more meetings, so we can get together. And it's like the guy on drugs, remember back in the 90s?
Right.
I do drugs so I can go to work, so I can work harder, so I can get up in the morning, and I get up, I do drugs, so I go to work, and he's like walking around in the circle.
Definition of insanity?
Yeah, pretty much, and I think we're seeing versions of that people are waking up from, going, like the whole Charlie Kirk thing, right? So the Charlie Kirk thing, what was that? Well, that was kind of a big awakening of a lot of things. Like when you really go back and look at a lot of us did, because, we felt terrible about what happened to Charlie, and we all got agitated by this whole thing, right?
Sure.
So all of a sudden you were flooded with his content. And the guy asked a lot of questions that made people go, man, you're right about that. What am I benefiting from this debt I'm getting into, right?
Right.
How's this affecting my family? Not only am I a young person, I'm pretending I'm a young person. So let's say as a young person, I'm like, oh, not only am I getting into debt, right? A 25-year-old or 22, not even 25. What am I saying? 19, 20 years old. What am I saying? Right? 19, 20 years old, getting into massive debt, right? And my parents are also, having to support me through this, right? So they've got to come off the hip, right? Yep. So they're not done. They're coming out, and they've been putting away for this for how long? Right? So they've been coming off the hip a long time for this. And for what? And these are the questions the Charlie Kirk crowd really started asking, and it worked. It penetrated, because a lot of people are going, I don't think I want to sign up for that student loan program. David, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely. It's like the dog chasing his tail. You never catch it. So
and you better not. It'll stink if you did. So there's that.
I remember you talking to me about the definition of money way back. Back in our early days, about the what exactly is money. So you know what? I'm just going to throw that question back at you, because I want you to basically kind of go through what you taught me.
Well, money's a concept, right? It's just basically it's crystallized agreement. Right. And so all you're doing is transferring agreement. The problem with it is that the problem with money in and of itself, in its form, in its purest form, is it gives you the ability to exercise power without love. Bingo. This is anathema to the kingdom. It gives you the ability to exercise power without love. So in the kingdom, everything we do is done by love. How do I know? Because anything not done in faith is sin. And faith worketh by love. You're welcome.
Yes, and I'm sure that's something that you would teach your students right up front.
Right.
Hey,
so students have to understand what they're really dealing with is agreements and coming into unity in various forms. This is why some commerce you should not do, right? Okay. Right. And why he prohibits commerce on certain days. No engagement with the world on those days. No exchange. On those days you shut off exchange. Right. These days you belong to me. Yahuwah pulls you to himself. Because he does that, you have barakah upon you that they don't have. And that is evident when you look at the evidence of it, right? So is this evangelistic? Absolutely. Because one of the reasons why they're not getting them saved at the community church that's meeting in the high school, and what's really happening there is just a bunch of people who already were believers come together and sing songs and hang out together because they wanted to hang out together. But if you really look closely at evangelism, they struggle there. Why? Yes. Because the product that they're sharing with the community is not what's in the manual.
That is correct.
So they're handing out the manual, right? This thick manual, 66 book thick manual.
Yeah.
And the product that they're selling don't match the description in the manual. Pretty soon there's a disconnect. Now, either you go ahead and do the group psychosis with them and start calling everything amazing, or you start asking hard questions they don't want to answer.
Yes.
That's no fun.
Well,
so that's usually what ends up happening there. And that's why you walk into some of these places, they're seriously... I question the mental health of some groups. I believe that some are in serious danger of serious mental health issues because empirical evidence stopped mattering.
Right.
Things that were logical stopped mattering.
And they made
That was
excuses.
never, ever. I mean, the Bereans, they were the most noble of them all, searching the scriptures before they believed anything. Which, by the way, what scriptures were they searching? Not Matthew to Revelation. I'll give you a hint. Not Matthew to Revelation. There's your hint.
Yes, that's
They weren't written yet. Right? So they had to be searching scriptures. Yes. And that tells you something, that we've come a long way from the level of integrity. This is what makes modern day Bible interpreters seriously suspect, because they're operating with inferior information, inferior libraries, for lack of a better way to say it. We're digging back up libraries that they had full libraries of, and we're digging up fragments and have to put them together like a puzzle piece. So we need to show a lot more respect to our elders, to those that have gone before us. But yeah, mammon is not a new concept. Mammon's been on the earth the whole time, right? And so the love of mammon is the root of all evil, because it gives you the power. So what do you have to do to get control over it? That's where the tithe comes in. What was Yahuwah doing by doing it? You think Yahuwah's broke? You think he needs your money? He doesn't need your money, right? What's that all about? He's training you to give it to him, so that when you give it to him, now the devil's got to go through him to get to you, because you gave him the first fruits. So now the devil's got to attack him to get to you, which is a failed effort. It's dead on arrival. That's why it works. Okay? And that's why it's so important to do it correctly, because otherwise that protection isn't there. It isn't the better. And Israel found that out, didn't they? Yes, they did. They knew his name. They knew everything, but they started to play it fast and loose. And what happened? They ended up in Babylon. Right? Why? Because they started falling in love with the power of the money instead of understanding that it had deceitfulness in it. You have to be really careful. In fact, prosperity, I believe, and this is just my personal belief, is the most dangerous place for a saint, because they can start taking things for granted, and they can start thinking themselves higher than they ought. So this is why we're warned to take what he gives us and ensure, right? So how many are going, hey, all you billionaires, you better, and they're all wagging their finger at everybody that's made anything in this world. Why? Because they want them to turn around and do good things with it. Well, how many of them are doing it? Not many. I mean, and that's exactly correct. We should be turning around and taking what Yahuwah gives you and baruching thousands. That's the plan.
Absolutely.
That's what I believe you should do. Do people do it? No. Most people are very self-centered and very greedy. If they find a way to prosper, they keep it to themselves, and they lord it over everybody else. So my question is, did you become a millionaire? My question is, how many millionaires did you create? I have just different standards and scales.
Well, absolutely. You are an apostle,
Well, yeah, I mean, and I just don't believe in this stuff as much as people do, and that's why I was able to do some of the things I'm able to do, and I'll continue to do them, and not even care. We're going to be doing some things that I believe are indicative of our attitude towards that, because, after all, the more you strengthen your brethren, the stronger your whole community is, and that's what we lost. We lost that. We lost them when we let them steal the ecclesia. Don't get me started, David. Don't get me. Just ask me a question. Don't get me started. Just ask me a question, David, because I'll go all over the place, David.
I just thought that was important to bring up the concept of money and
I'll go to the 1600s. Man, listen,
we don't fall in love with it. So we don't do the things that you were just talking about.
There it is.
The deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things that can create the lust of other things. And
you understand what it's for. If you understand what it's for, you'll master it. If you don't, it will master you.
That's correct. Okay?
That's why I brought it up. There are people that have a lot of money, but the money has them.
Right.
There's a difference between having dominion and being under dominion.
Yes.
Okay. Most people are very fearful. When they have anything, they become fearful of losing it. I don't give a flying flip about losing it. You want to know why? Because I was snapping my fingers when I made it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you just aren't fearful when you come from an unlimited and eternal mindset. You only get that way when you think like a dog and there's only one piece of meat and you got to fight everybody else for it.
Yes.
It's
And
just not the way
survival
it
of the
is.
fittest.
That's just
Right.
not real. That's an
Right.
illusion that they talked you into to get you to fight because they like watching you fight.
There's a lot of TV shows like that, by the way.
They enjoy that. They enjoy it. They get some kind of like some power or loose or whatever you call it from your conflicts. They like it. So
Right.
don't do it because it makes them angry when you're all united and walk in one accord. So let's get them all upset by uniting.
Well, and and we will unite the next generation, and we will get them together, hot, one, and So I'm gonna pose a couple of questions to you and let you go at it. As we've said, we are targeting 19 to 30-year-olds as the recipients of this particular ministry effort, which works in conjunction with New Kingdom Academy, a
Right.
homeschool for the remnant. So, my question is, what about people outside of that age bracket?
Right. That's a good question because that came up in our meeting actually.
Sure.
People
Absolutely.
asked to say, "Hey, well, I'm outside your target numbers."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I
Again,
read
the
people
analogy
questions
I
a lot.
used was a hospital or a restaurant. I'm not sure which. I think it was the hospital. I said,
Yes.
And using a hospital as an example, just because you're, say, a geriatric hospital or you're a pediatric hospital that's
Mm-hmm.
focused on a particular group of patients that you're dealing with. So let's say it's pediatric, so you're more younger, right? That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that your staff can't be older. Obviously, they're not going to be in that age bracket because they're
Right.
in the staff. There's a difference between those that are working as part of the team, the ministry team that's there to provide the ministry, and then there's those that are their recipients, right?
Right.
And so, and that continues to turn over. So some people are going to be with us for a bit and then move on to other things, but always calling that home, right? But other people, that is their home. That is home. And
Right.
they work at home. And so there's a difference between the two. And that's where you have a greater variety of course, ages, because you're going to have people that are much older who are guiding young people, who are investing in young people, who have
Yes.
a contribution to make
There it
to
is.
them and want to bring their skill sets, their experience,
Yep.
their knowledge, their gifts, and lay them at the feet of the next generation. That we invite, okay?
Right.
But we don't
Right.
want anybody that's going to come and bring the failures of previous generations and poison what
Yes.
who is doing right now. So we're going to be
Yes.
guarded about that. It's got to be people
Very
that
good.
are, that understand that particular effort is a targeted effort. Doesn't mean we might not have a geriatric effort. Right? It doesn't mean we might not have, as in the
There is
case of Kingdom
Grandpa Big.
Academy, dealing with much younger people. Right? New Kingdom Academy deals with people from 18 and under. It's a different
Yes.
group, different ministry, different staff, different focus, different goals, right? So we
Right.
have to remember that we're just simply organizing and compartmentalizing so that we can deliver the best we can to that generation. And I believe that group represents the group that best has an opportunity to really turn the tide. With support by the grace of the King, they can be the builders, that the ones that are coming up now, the young ones that are getting homeschooled and New Kingdom Academy or something like that, can now come right into that because this generation built it. So there has to be the builder generation. There just has to be.
There
Okay.
has to.
I mean, there just has to be. Okay. So in order for the enjoyment generation to come along, there has to be the builder generation.
Come on.
So that's where we are now. And we need them young legs and young hearts that I believe will unite and have lifelong connections in our various places. And as a result of that, not only will they become, of course, successful, and there's not going to be a feeble one among us.
Right.
That is just the way it works. But
Right.
also encouraging and strengthening their families. Remember that just
Yes.
one next member affects an entire family of people,
Yes.
because that person now has resource access and friends and solutions that frankly people don't even think about.
Right.
So when we talk about next, we're talking about brilliance,
Yes.
straight brilliance, and Yahuwah will continue to pour out brilliance and
Yes.
solve problems with it.
Mm.
The wealth and the things that are created will be secondary and afterthoughts. You'll find very quickly that those that are motivated by love just don't care about those things. What they do care
Right.
about is solving problems. And those are the people that make it with us. People
Yes.
that Yahuwah puts in them a heart to serve their brothers and sisters.
Mm.
And they just needed their other sisters to support that, right? So we like to think of ourselves as a group of unusual, gifted people that are going to come together and do extraordinary things.
Right. Well, you know, I've heard that there's a lot of young people reaching out. So where are you in this process right now?
That's a great question. There are some young people starting to reach out to us, which are really awesome. I'm loving the early interactions, and it is exciting to interact with the very people that we're talking about and see their excitement level, especially when we're talking about community. And this is something that I really believe the true believer has such a deep yearning for, David,
Mhm.
when can I just be with my brothers and my sisters and not have any get me as far away from this world as you can. And the
Feeling
only
that. I'm
reason
feeling
why they're not is because they got to go there for work, or they got to go there to live, or they got to go there to, like, the world draws them back in because of all the amenities of the world that they have to go get. But what if you could replace that? What if you could put them in a place that you could do that differently? So that's where right now where we're at is we're selecting locations, and we're going from Northern California all the way to Palm Springs, and then shooting across the southern United States. Locations will be approximately 200 miles apart, and then we'll get to Jacksonville, Florida. That's the end stop of that train ride, and you've got stops along the way. So you could literally travel across the country when we're done here, and stop at our locations. Now, how long will it take us? Well, here's a funny thing we found out. We found out that you could buy buildings and have them delivered. Cool. It's cool beans, man.
Who would have thunk?
Like whole buildings. That is so cool.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited right now. So right now what we're doing is we're finding the spots, and we're, obviously going to have to acquire the properties. That takes a little bit of time, just to find them, locate them, you know what I mean, space all that out, because gas stations are the critical component that we've got to acquire. Land is easy,
Yeah.
because there's land everywhere, right? So land is easy, but it's gas stations that was the critical piece. So we're securing that, and that's going to take us probably, I would say, a good 3 to 6 months to get that fully done. And then once that's done, then it's off to the races.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing really holding us up. So within the next year or so, you would see, I would expect those camps to be firing up.
Sure. How many do you think that there would be in total? I mean, so let's do some math.
Well, I don't know. I think the mileage is about 3,000 miles total. So you got to figure about 15 locations roughly, maybe more depending upon population density. So we'll see.
I was going to say possibly one going up the middle.
Yeah,
of the
some places you might be
there,
further apart than others, right?
like Minneapolis, all that.
Well, so California down to Palm Springs, across the southern United States.
That's correct.
And then, in addition to that, there may be some vertical lines that we create, but those vertical lines will not be the same in the sense that they will be transport lines, like you can connect up and move up and down.
Like a hot point.
Yes. Residential areas like the 100-acre spots that we're picking up, that may not be the case on the vertical lines. Provision, you may be able to get things on there and refuel, but as far as some of that. It's not as robust going north and south because of weather, folks. One of the reasons why we're doing this in the southern line is to stay clear, to be able to continually transport across the north. Oh man, you got all kinds of challenges going across the north.
Sure.
So that's what I mean. Any trucker will tell you that. We have one right here on premise. Our Drew himself, who traveled over the road for many years. So we have thankfully, the experience of his expertise to help guide us in some of our decision making, and so that led us to this decision, or helped us make this decision for the southern route.
Yeah, yep.
So
and and I have shipping and receiving galore, experience galore. So
yeah, and that's exciting too, because that's another opportunity for our young people. It's a business opportunity, obviously, but it's also an opportunity to just work together. So you've got, a team on the West Coast working together with a team on the East Coast, and they're swapping resources and what have you. I mean, that's all exciting stuff, folks. Well, and that's the gospel in operation, right? So they're seeing things in real.
Yes.
That now when you have people gather at those locations for a Shabbat and they're talking about the kingdom, they have some very good context for a lot of the lessons that they're learning. Okay. So this becomes a lot more real. The gospel becomes a lot more real. Amen. Just like the rain. It's like bringing in the rain. Okay.
So when you're talking to these youngsters, what's their excitement level? What are what's going through their minds?
Well, I think they're kind of pinching themselves a little bit because this is new, right?
Sure.
For any group to be investing not only in the United States but in Mexico and in Brazil as well. We're looking at doing the same thing in those countries. So we're doing this internationally, and it's an investment, yes, but come on, guys. Given it shall be given to you. Pressed down, shaking together, running over.
Right.
Watch what happens.
Right.
It'll come back so fast. It'll come back so hard. Like somebody was saying, you're going to spend, and they figured out the number. They did the math, and they were like, well, that's a lot of money you're going to spend, right? That's a lot of money. You're going to spend a lot. Yeah, and it's going to be back before I get done writing the checks.
Right. But you know what? It's not going to get there by osmosis.
When Yahuwah's in a thing, just get out the way, man.
It's not going to happen by osmosis, man. Somebody's going to have to do the legwork. Somebody's going to have to pay for it. And Yahuwah's
the old men get the easy job. The old men write checks, and the old men shout orders. They get the easy job.
Yes,
that's the old man job. Okay, write a check, and then you get to give orders. You don't write a check, you don't get to give no orders. So, you want to bark orders, you better bring your checkbook. That's all I'm saying. Right, David? You want to be part of the Grandpa Brigade, you better be bringing your checkbook.
I'll bring mine, you bring yours. We'll get together.
We already brought ours. We already brought ours, so we're gonna do it with or without you. But if you want some bragging rights and you want to yell at some people, come on in.
Yeah, we're gonna do it with or without you, but we're rather do it
with or without you. Exactly. And that's the fun part too, is that we don't go out here and that's something else that we want to teach our young people. Ministry's not begging for funds, and ministry's not about starving and projecting a starving image to the people. That's a disrespect to the king, nor was it ever his intention. And yes, there are those who work the gospel and should live of the gospel. Yes, that should be abundant, but it should be abundant because the community is Baruch.
Right.
That's why.
Right.
And fragmented, you can't get there. I mean, you have little bits and pockets, and this person's doing good, and then this person's doing good, and that person over there is doing good. But all the people in between them are not. But if they were living in community, that would not be the case.
That's correct.
But because they're spread out, it is the case.
Right.
So community solves a lot of that, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Well, the
enemy knows one among us, not one broke person, not one person that can't. Not only not broke. Here's another thing that really gets to me, but it's not just about their own resources and what have you. That's an important thing. Yahuwah points to that. delights in the prosperity of his servant. So he wants them to do well. But here's the other thing that I love. And that's that no matter how old they get, no matter how many years go by, when they call upon their brothers and their sisters, when they are in any kind of trouble, the weight of the brothers and sisters that are going to be showing up.
Yes.
They're going to be showing up heavy.
Heavy.
Okay? They're going to be coming in heavy.
Yes.
Because their brother called.
That's right.
Do you understand the weight of that?
Come on.
Because they went through stuff together.
Yes.
And they became a family together. And now it don't matter where on the earth that man goes, where on the earth that sister goes, her family's always there.
Whoa. Yada Yahuwah. Yada Yahuwah. Yada Husha. Yes. That's what's been sorely missing. In this where we find ourselves,
you ain't never more than a gas tank away from your fam bam.
Come on, and then
never more than a gas tank away.
And then the weight of that family that was helped, the weight of that, coming back, shaken together, it would just continue to run over, because that's what his word says.
We will fail unless we hear the words legendary. We will consider ourselves a failure unless we hear the words epic. We will consider ourselves a failure unless we're hearing this. We're hearing the sound of tears.
That's right.
People astounded by the things we do. We're going to do so many good works. Y'all going to have no choice. Y'all going to have no choice. The rocks will start crying out if y'all don't praise it. I said the rocks will start crying out if y'all don't praise him.
He'll make a donkey praise him.
I'm going to turn every single enemy of the gospel. They're going to be like, well, there is that one group. They'll give you the shirt off their back, man. These people are crazy. Right? And then they're like, yeah, I can't talk smack about them because they'll just straight up give you a plate of food, give you a place to sleep, and work with you. Even if you're not part of Next, they'll still do it.
Right.
That's something else that, we're very serious about. And is it going to be cheap? No, but I'm not a cheapskate, so there's that.
Right.
Exactly. It's going to be very, very expensive. So, and
it's just money.
It's just money.
Just money.
Now you're going to get to see what it looks like when the righteous have it and just throw it where it belongs instead of worrying about it like, so, my goodness. So irritating.
Yes.
Worrying about your pennies. Keep your pennies then. Keep your pennies then. See if anybody remembers you a week after you're gone.
Oops.
No, this is about legacy, folks. This is about doing something that's going to last a long time. Okay? All these properties have flags flying on them that belong to the king. Nobody's selling them. Nobody's moving them. They are paid. They are free and clear, and they are tax-free.
Come on. To see his kingdom come and his will be done on earth as it is in the Shamayim.
Captains know their jobs on locations, right? We're going to have ways that we're going to be able to impact people. And listen, this is just one example. This is just one effort. We could do, you might find us doing inner city work the next effort. You might find us doing a whole nother thing in another effort. And so don't get too caught up on this one. If you don't like this mission, stick around. We'll have another one you'll like.
Hey,
stick around.
Is it true that the people in New Kingdom Next are going to have to shovel the horse and ride a horse? And
let me see if I got this right.
Way up.
I'm gonna come to. Let me see. No. You know what, David? I'm gonna mute you because I have to talk to some people right now. Let me holler at you a minute. Let me see if I got this right. You come to me 19 years old, wet behind the ears. You're going to leave 25 years old, a multi-millionaire, because that's your graduation. You can't leave unless you learned some things. You were teamed up with other people. And you want to know if you're going to learn a little agriculture Poppy, there are going to be some days you smell like horse manure. There are going to be some days you're going to think you done died and became a cowboy. You want to know why? Because I think every cowboy should know what a coder goes through, and every coder should know what a cowboy goes through. So they respect and appreciate one another. And that cowboy, he says, man, I don't know nothing about them computers, man. Are you going to sit through a class or two? And that coder that says, I don't know nothing about no cows and horses, you're going to sit in that saddle. Oh, yes, you are. Okay. Why? For mutual respect. I think that the more we do things like that, the better we unite, the better we respect the work done by others in other vocations. I think you should drive a bus for a week. I think you should do all kinds of vocations for a week, okay, for a little bit, just to taste it. You know, go be a meter maid, go take tickets at a ball game, something, just anything that changes your whole paradigm. And what's going to happen when you do that? You're going to appreciate people. You're going to love them differently. Okay. You know, I think about waitresses and waiters and some of the unsung heroes. You don't even know that they're watching out for you. You don't even know that they're keeping an eye out for you. And that the better you take care of them waiters and the better you take care of that wait staff and what have you, that all comes back. These are all community elements that we keep losing more and more and more. And so I believe America needs a reset. I believe it needs a different kind of reset. It needs its heart reset. It needs compassion reset. It needs deliverance reset. It needs its treatment of the elderly as well as the young reset. We know that we can only do one thing at a time, but it is one. We believe that we have a job to inspire, and we are not called to do it all. We're called to inspire it all. And I do believe these young people, given support, given prayer, given a place where they can bring their tithe and their offering and stay baruched so they no longer fall under the power of the wicked one, they walk out strong. I'm scared to see what they might do under the power of the anointing when Yahuwah gets a hold of them. Do you not see what he is doing here? He is going to raise an army of people who are empowered and strong to make sure his will is done in the earth. Does it mean all the bad guys are going to go away? No. It just means the good guys are getting stronger. They're coming together. And it's about time. I mean, there's some young people that are going, please, I could sure use the help right about now.
Yes.
So we've got our work cut out for us. And if you're part of the effort right now, then you're part of a building effort. You're part of a strategic effort. You're part of a planning effort. You're part of an effort that is getting things ready for the next stage. And I kept trying to explain this to people, but it was hard for them to understand because the thing what Yahuwah put in my heart was too big for them. That's why he didn't give it to you. Because it's too big for you. I get it. And he had to grow me to understand how big it would be. I remember back in 1998 or 99, I got a prophetic word. We're in 1185 North Concord.
Remember
South
it well.
St. Paul. You remember that, David?
Yes, sir.
And I had a glass podium. And on the bottom of the glass podium, somebody had brought me one day a pair of shoes. They looked like Shaquille O'Neal shoes. They were size like 18. Now, I don't wear size 18. So I don't know. Right. I mean, it was the biggest shoes you had ever seen, man. And they brought them to the meeting, and they gave me the word, and they said, "What Yahuwah is taking you to do." This was 1998, something like that. What Yahuwah is taking you to do is so big, but you're going to grow into it. And they made me, and those shoes stayed there week after week. I preached with those shoes sitting there, and I got to look at those giant shoes. Tell me who doesn't know how to do stuff, okay? Things that look a little weird to you, right? Come on, somebody. Some of you know how to walk in the Ruach. You know what he was doing there. He was painting a picture. Like he said to Abraham, look at the stars of the heavens, right? He's saying something. Because see these shoes? You're going to have to fill shoes this big. So this thing, yes, I understand it's big. Yes, I understand it's bigger than most people think can happen. I understand most people think, how are you going to pull that off? I promise you, it will not be cheap.
It will not. But
it's not going to be cheap, mamas.
I know, but
it's not going to be cheap.
We only live on so much of that, right? So
somebody say the babies are worth it. I want to hear. Come on, somebody out here, say it with me. The babies are worth it. And you better say it with me. Y'all better get in this. Y'all better help me preach this. I better see some hands go up. And you better help me don't let me feel alone right now. Tell me that you're with me. The babies are worth it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How many know that if I'm standing there hesitating to write a check, all I got to think about is the babies are worth it. If I'm sitting there wondering, man, that's expensive. Okay. That's a big check I got to write for that gas station.
Yeah. Okay.
The babies are worth it.
The babies are worth it. Yes.
Man, that's an expensive piece of land we had to pay for. You sure we can't do that? That's the only one we could. You sure it's the one we got to do? Yeah, boss, it's the best we could find. You sure we couldn't find it? Nah, boss. I'm sorry, boss. We did the best we could, boss. I think they're seeing us coming now, boss.
Right.
This is it. The babies are worth it.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
And then here we go again. Oh my goodness, what do we got to do here? Well, we got to fix this and got to fix this. What's going to happen? Babies are worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. 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 The next generation.
Sometimes we can get so caught up in our own pains and our own things and our own distresses. Come on, David.
Come on.
But we had our moment, man. And some of you are you're gonna go, wait a minute, nobody did that for me when I was 24.
No.
Nobody hooked me up.
You're right.
Man. You're right.
You're right. So go and pay it forward.
You're right. You're right. It was an injustice. You know what makes us awesome? We said it stops with us.
Bang.
Now that's amazing. You want to say amazing? That's amazing. That some group of people said, se acabó aquí mismo, no se va para ningún sitio más.
That's it.
No more. We're done. Se acabó. Okay, I'm done. Mm-hmm. And since nobody, very few people have that kind of courage. Come on.
That's
I know you're going to appreciate it, and people are going to appreciate it across the country, right? Yeah. And they're going to love it. They're going to love us and all that. But how many know it took courage?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. Because, like we said, that vision big, man. Them big shoes to fill.
And I got people in this chat right here that have been with me since the 90s. I got my sweet sister. I just saw her name, and every time I see her name, I just light up.
Valerie. Yep.
And these are things he gave me way back when, and I said, Father, when will we see them, right? When they're ready. 20 years had to go by from the prophetic word. 20 years, just like 1 Samuel 7. 1 Samuel 7, they lamented off the Yahuwah for 20 years, waiting for deliverance. And then finally, he begins to deliver you, and you have to hear his voice. You have to come when he calls you.
Yes.
And some of you are out there fighting with him, and he's saying, do you understand what I'm setting up for you here?
Come on.
Do you see what I'm sending my servants to get ready for you? And you're arguing with me? I'm sending people that don't even know you. And they're setting things up for you. Spending money you couldn't even imagine in your lifetime to take care of you. Tell me why that's happening. Tell me that's not the Ruach of Yahuwah. And if you don't believe it is, then tell me where else it's happening.
All right. Come on. We'll wait right here.
It's no big deal. then show me where else it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
If it's common,
yeah.
Come on, somebody.
You know,
Somebody say Yada Yahuwah, man.
Yada
Go
Yahuwah.
ahead and give him his praise.
His praise.
Give him his worship.
Come on now.
Tell him you love him. Thank him. And you may say, but I'm old. I don't get to. But you get to pray. You get to participate. You get to see it. Okay? You get to see it. Maybe you didn't. Maybe it missed you. Okay, so
jump in and help. Yeah.
I wish I'd have had those big fat drivers when I was a 20-year-old playing golf. Okay? It is what it is, man. Okay.
You know, it's not how you start anyway, right? It's how you finish.
Hey,
come on.
You know what matters? I'll tell you what matters. When you pray, does he hear you? I don't think there's anything more valuable to me. I mean, y'all already know my story, so I'm not saying nothing that y'all don't already know, right? So you already know. Yahuwah done baruched us in ways that are just crazy, right? I mean, it's just exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or think. None of it compares. None of it compares to this. That when I ask him to send the rain comes. That's what matters. That's what's up. Everything else.
Right.
It's paperwork.
Yeah.
It's paperwork.
The rest of that is just transactional. But what is the real currency? Exactly what you just said.
They're going to cry together. Pray. We want people to cry together. We want people to learn together and love together and fight together. And shovel poop together. Yes, there will be shoveling poop. Yes. There will be. There will be a lot of jobs that we're going to be like, oh, that's a bad job. And this is a good job. And this is a great job.
Yeah. And by the way, leaders, you're also going to have to shovel some poop.
There's peeling potatoes too. There's painting walls and cleaning floors. There's all kinds of tasks.
Come on.
And exactly. Yeah. And so we have to learn to go back to being productive people and also how to dovetail one another in love, how our gifts work together, how we work together as a team, how you can take a cowboy and a gal that's an agriculturist and a cook and put them together with a couple of coders, and they're all wealthy as a team. Even though these three over here aren't doing that stuff, there's some others doing this stuff, but they all are a team. How did we do that? Well, we created it. Why? Because otherwise, certain people will do well and other people won't.
Right. And that doesn't work.
But they won't eat without the cowboy.
Right.
They won't eat without the gal who's making sure the vegetables are done correctly. They won't eat without the friends that are. They won't eat without the staff that's in there. So it's disproportionate, and we have to make sure that that's not the case. But the fact is that as you learn to work as teams, okay, as you learn to work as a family, as you learn to work as a unit, what starts to happen? Well, then you start to become united and in one accord.
Barakav
Yahuwah. Hello. It hits you.
Come on.
The blessing of Yahuwah will come down upon you. And isn't that what you want? So dwell together with your brethren in unity. Now, can everybody do that? No. It's impractical. So are we now taking segments and making it almost symbolic along the way? Yes. Just like some of the other things that we do that are symbolic or prophetic. And how will that impact other young people that are not at Next, but will be impacted by the change that's going on in the atmosphere, in the spirit, right? By the examples that are being set forth.
Sure.
Just because they're not part of Next doesn't mean they're not going to be learning a lot from them and doing a lot of the same things. So I would expect to see a bunch of other camps that have nothing to do with us. Just because they're going, that's a good idea. Right? That's a better idea. That's a better way to eat. I stopped at one of those places. Man, the food was great. We need to do that. Next thing you know, they're doing it somewhere where we're not.
Right.
Works for me.
Yeah.
The more the merrier. Let's have a competition of who can make the best grub. Let's compete on, right? Let's have a cook-off, man. Now that's a competition we can get involved in. There you go. I'll be a judge. I'll get to eat all the I want to test everybody's work and make sure you guys are up to snuff.
Yes.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice that we get all this water? And so for those people who are questioning how much water we get, whether I got to walk back on the stepping stones because otherwise, look at me bouncing around on the stepping stones. I could get back to my cabin because there was water everywhere.
I was gonna say it's a good thing you didn't line up on your backside there.
Hey man, so I'm doing my Tai Chi. Tai Chi. Wow.
Yes, I did my Tai Chi this morning too.
My Tai Chi. Yes. Yeah, you got to stay in shape. You got to keep your balance. So evangelism changes now because people can see more of the gospel in operation.
Yes.
And I believe that is, you need to fix that before you go out there and,
throw a bunch of words around. We've done that. We've done that program already. Okay?
How about we take care of the ones we already got saved? How about we hook them up? How about we take care of those people?
They're done that.
Okay? That makes more sense to me. Amen. So, any other questions you got, David? You had some good questions today, David. Any more questions over there? Did we answer all your questions?
I think so. I think you pretty much, just letting people know that, this is, it's going to be a well-rounded effort, as far as 19 to 30-year-olds. They're not only going to learn how to make millions of dollars, but they're going to learn how to do to cowboy up and do the hard work and do the things, so that they have an appreciation for what it takes for something like this to, take on, a personality, or for lack of a better term, but.
Well, we got certain challenges there, that's for sure. And really it begins much younger. It really begins at the youngest age possible. You want to teach them the Torah. You want to teach them the commandments, right? You want to raise your child in the way that they should go so that when they are old, they will not depart from it. So my son, as an example, has never missed a scripture reading or a Shabbat service since he was 4 years old. So he's been through the Torah however many times. We've gone through it together. And he has sat through every Shabbat service. So he's absorbing at whatever level that he can at each age, what he can absorb, right? But it's not foreign to him. So as he gets older, it has more context.
Yes.
I believe it's a very important responsibility. And that's why we have New Kingdom Academy, which we are going to be working again with Chase Taylor, who's the principal there, on doing more remote connecting so that we can encourage more of those who are doing homeschooling and then encourage them that, hey, you know what? There's a different end here than what we thought. We're not going to just send you into debt into some college and hope for the best. No, you're going to go join, hopefully, if they'll let you in, right? If they can get you in there, you're going to go be part of Next. And whoa, now not only are you going to be okay, but that's going to bless our whole family.
Right.
Okay. That's a big shift from the college picture that we have now.
Yes.
Okay.
Debt ridden.
And we're not talking about less quality and education either.
Right.
So some of the tech that we're talking about is going to accelerate learning using technology that they're right now decelerating learning with.
Right.
We're going to have some fun with that.
Yep.
So you're going to see some things coming out in the next 5 to 10 years that I believe are going to dramatically impact the way we do ministry, the way that we do a lot of things. But David, I'm going to ask you a question. How excited are you about having aquaponic and hydroponic food grown right in each one of these locations? How excited are you about that?
Listen,
one of the biggest problems we have is eating out, right? When we travel.
Yes.
Where do you go to eat, right?
Because why? Why do you say that? Because all the food is dirty. That's why. Food is dirty. So, I am super excited because, I'm a former professional chef. Food has always been a part of me. I do other things too as well. I've been doing some spices and things like that. But hey, listen, I'm excited. I'm super excited about clean.
What about homeopathic remedies? Being able to come to each one of those places and get that.
Well, that just happens to be another one of my interests. Another one of my things that I like to do. Is tinctures.
Tinctures. We got people that are producing products that are health benefit products that are natural.
Yes.
You'll be able to, those that are doing that will have a network now to share some of their stuff and more people will pick them up, right? So they'll know, oh, this is good stuff. Let me buy that, right? So those that are in that, small cottage businesses and industries will get a bit of a lift there. I mean, I'm excited about it from that standpoint, but I'm also excited about the fact that we will now have alternatives for those that would prefer to use, different forms of health remediation. And I don't want to get too hard into that because I know there's a lot of opinions there, but you should be given your choices, right? So yeah, you can go use some chemicals that they got, fine, help yourself, but you should also know about nattokinase, right? You should know about that. Yeah, you can know about their chemical blood thinner, but you should know about nattokinase, right? Yes. You can know about other things, but you should know about ashwagandha or whatever other things. What is it?
Ashwagandha.
You should know about maca root and tangatali and black pepper and silicate and all that. Like, you should know about that, right? Whether you use it or not, I don't know, but at least you knew.
And the benefits of rosemary. Come on, don't forget that one.
What if you need a parasite cleanse, right? You're like, oh, I know the best people to go for that. Man. Let me go find New Kingdom. Where they at? So those are things that are all part of health and part of the gospel as well. And you don't think so, you're missing it.
And those are all things that are needed in the body. They
were part of what the disciples talked about. They brought cures with them.
Yes.
Okay. And by the way, they were talking to people that knew better and should have never have been eating unclean. So they would get rebuked, told to repent, go back to eating clean again because you're getting worms.
Come on.
And they would give them wormwood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they'd feel better. As soon as you start killing parasites, funny how you feel better. So,
yes.
Any other questions before we let them go, David? Any last words or last question?
I think you pretty much covered it. I was gonna ask about from an evangelistic standpoint. We'll have to do this next week. From an evangelistic standpoint, explaining the what is the Torah, and what all does it entail?
The Torah versus the Talmud. That'll be a great conversation.
Exactly. So maybe we'll hit that one.
That goes square into Galatians. There's old people think they understand Galatians. They're about to get, oh no, I thought I understood it till it gets expertly handled, and then all of a sudden you understand why Peter warned you.
Yes.
You will learn. So yeah, tune in.
Yeah, tune in.
Let's do that. Let's have that conversation.
All right. That's awesome. Yes.
Any last thoughts before we let them go that you'd like to share?
Well, I just, I'm the type of person that I'm not going to bow at the altar of anything other than natural remedies. So, and I'm not saying anything bad against those who, do that, but I personally will not, because I've seen too many things. Anyway, I just wanted to, encourage those, that may be thinking about, natural remedies. To definitely go down that road. I think what you will find out in what it says in Jubilees 10:12, where he talks about that he gave Noah and his sons all the trees and herbs and plants and of the earth for remedy. So I just wanted you to keep that in mind as you go out throughout your week. We love you. May the better God of Yahuwah be with you. May his face shine upon you. May he be gracious. And may fill you with his shalom.
Amen, Brother David. Thank you so much. And we always appreciate hanging out with him. Who does not love Brother David? If you don't love that man, something's wrong with you. I love him so much. I'm so grateful for his gift. So grateful for evangelism and those that are thinking about those that need to come into the kingdom. And I'm so grateful for those of you that are praying and interceding for the young people that are awakening and have good questions. Guys, that, you can't just throw away their questions, right? You can't just pretend away just because you don't have an answer. You got to ask yourself the hard questions yourselves, and then you'll get their respect. All right. And so this is what we have to continue to do. Not easy. That means that we have to continue to be strong and very courageous. But I do believe that we're going to see more and more people coming not only into the kingdom, but flourishing as Yahuwah pours out his barakah upon those who follow the correct pathway. And so again, he told us to seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things would be added unto us. Well, that's exactly what he meant. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of the Evangelist Corner. May Yahuwah Baruch each and every one of you. And remember, Yahusha HaMashiach, he alone is King of Kings.